Let my people go. This is Moses, and this is mean Pharaoh, leader of Egypt. A burning bush, and it began. As God told Moses, "Here's my plan." But Moses was a simple man. He said, "I just don't think I can." Say, I just don't think I can.
I just don't think I can.
Poor Moses. God wouldn't hear the answer no and said, "With Aaron, you will go to lead my people from Pharaoh. Tell him that your God said so." So Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh. Our God says,
"Let my people go."
And Pharaoh shouted,
"No, no, no!"
A big mistake. He didn't know that God would deal a mighty blow.
A plague, a plague!
Egyptians to the Pharaoh said, "Their God has turned our water red. No more fish, they all are dead. Where's some water we can drink? We cannot stand this bloody stink. P.U. Then Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh. Our God says,
"Let my people go." I said, "No, no, no!"
So,
A plague, a plague!
frogs were Pharaoh's next nightmare. He cried, "They're hopping everywhere. Tell God to send the frogs away. Then you can go without delay. They're in my oven, in my bed. I think a frog jumped on my head." So Moses prayed, and the frogs were dead. Then Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh. Our God says,
"Let my people go."
and Pharaoh shouted,
"No, no, no!"
So
A plague, a plague!
Egyptians cried, "Oh no, now gnats, covering cows and dogs and cats, covering us from head to toe. Please, Pharaoh, let those people go." Then Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh. Our God says,
"Let my people go."
and Pharaoh shouted,
"No, no, no!"
So
A plague, a plague!
God spread the ground with nasty flies, but Pharaoh answered only lies. "I'll let your people leave this place. Just get these flies out of my face." When Moses said, "It's done, we'll go," Pharaoh shouted,
"No, no, no!"
So
A plague, a plague!
a plague. Soon animals began to die. Egyptians pleaded, "Hear our cry. Pharaoh, why? But Pharaoh still would not comply. Then Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh. Our God says,
"Let my people go."
and Pharaoh shouted,
"No, no, no!"
So
A plague, a plague!
Egyptians moaned and cried in dread to see their skin turn purply red, and nasty boils began to spread. But Pharaoh was an old hard head. When Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh, our God says,
"Let my people go."
Pharaoh shouted,
"No, no, no!"
and so
A plague, a plague!
God continued the campaign with hail and thunder, mighty rain. There'd never been a worse event. It looked like Pharaoh might relent. When Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh, our God says,
"Let my people go."
Pharaoh shouted,
"No, no, no!"
so
A plague, a plague!
Now God sent down a new command, and Moses with his outstretched hand sent hungry locusts through the land. Said Pharaoh, "This I cannot stand. Leave Egypt now as you have planned." But when the people packed to go, Pharaoh shouted,
No. No. No.
So
A plague! A plague!
then Egypt had 3 days of night, while Israelites enjoyed God's light. So Pharaoh, tired of the fight, said, "Wives and children all can go. You cannot take your livestock, though." He really didn't mean it. So he soon was shouting,
No, no, no!
and then
A plague! A plague!
God, through Moses, said, "Beware! This plague is bad beyond compare. Death to every firstborn son, from royal born to poorest one. But sons of Israel I will spare. So listen now, you must prepare." See what they were doing?
Yeah.
And as God struck his final blow, Pharaoh shouted, "Go!"
Go! Go! Go!
The end. Take a bow. Hey guys, I'm going to give you some instructions for making your own Matzah Tosh craft, which is something that we can use during the Seder dinner. You're going to get 4 paper plates. They can really be any kind of paper plates, but the flatter the better. And you need hole puncher and string. And what you're going to do is you're going to put stack the 4 plates together, and you're going to punch some holes about halfway around the plate. And then you can tie your string on, and you're gonna lace this together. So then what you'll have is you'll have some pockets with the bottom laced together. There should be 3 pockets with your 4 plates. And then you can decorate it. And so your finished product, this is one we made in the past, could look something like this, where it's laced on the bottom. You could draw a picture, color it, whatever you wanna do. We put a lamb on ours, and then it has the 3 pockets, and that's the Matzah Tosh. So see if you can make that from things you have at home.